My name is Dontavius Schuler. I'm from Cairo, Georgia, small town at the Georgia-Florida line, and I'm a filmmaker. So writing was more of an accidental therapeutic experience, man. We was going through the writer's strike at the time. I think it was a writer's strike, something like that, one of them strikes. It wasn't a lot of work. Everybody was kind of halting, kind of trying to figure out what was going on with that. And we kind of had this period of lull in the industry, right? And at the same time, I lost my aunt. I was in this relationship that kind of soured and went left, and that was just kind of like in this like place of like, damn, like what the hell going on? You know what I'm saying? And so I had a lot of really good friends, you know, really good pastor, and I journaled, you know what I mean? So I was just journaling what was on my mind, and that kind of helped me keep going, because I ain't got nothing else to do, right? You know, idle mind is the devil playground. And so, and I just journaled, you know what I mean? And I went to the gym and I journaled, and I went to the gym and I journaled, and we kept going. When the strike got worse and work started to really, really slow up, I'm like, we ain't doing nothing. I'm looking around and I'm seeing like, we all talented, you know what I mean? Friends got gear and stuff like that. And one day I was just looking at the journals. And I was like, man, this, you know, I just started kind of putting in the sticky notes, and I'm like, this could probably be a story, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll write a book. And I'm just playing with it on sticky notes, basically kind of like, you know, putting it out, watching YouTube videos of how to do the 3-act structure. But it's more so just, I'm just writing stuff down just to kind of like get my thoughts and my feelings out. You know, I don't like to talk to people about problems. And it kind of just one of those things that I just started doing it. And I was talking to Ashley Younger, one of my friends, and I was asking her, like, cause she do a lot of shorts, and I was like, how did you put this together? Like, how do you start? And she was like, you know, you just do it. And you know, you kind of start with this and that, and she sent me a lot of links and stuff like that from YouTube to watch to kind of help me get started and to understand the 3-act structure and stuff like that. And so I watched those few things, and I was like, I'm gonna just try something. And so I just started writing, and what came out was Echoes, right? And a lot of those moments that I went through was in that film, you know what I mean? Losing the aunt, the part where he loses his aunt, the relationship souring, you know, it wasn't how my relationship soured, but it was, you know, it's a good thematic way to put something in a movie. But it was just, you know, it was just a therapeutic thing for me. So I just wrote it, and I finished, and I showed it to a couple friends. And I was like, hey, what you think about it? And what I started noticing was, I'm like, hey, read this. And like, nobody finna sit down and read no 60, 70 page, nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if they do, it's like, okay, this is all right. And so what I started to quickly realize, if I want to do this, can I do this? And so it became more of a challenge of like, shit, can you even make this happen, right? And so, you remember I told you I DP'd the Huntsville show. What I did was I went back to what Ashley told me about, like the casting on Backstage. I went there and found some actors and stuff like that. I hit up Maurice from Love and Marriage Huntsville and told him that I would love to have Kimmy on it. And she remembered me, and remember I told you we was having a good time in Huntsville, and a lot of people had a lot of respect for us and liked us. And she was like, yo, I'd be honored to come on and help out. And it just kind of all fell together, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I can't even explain how we got some of the actors. They just kind of came together. We got one, and they bought another one, and this person bought another one, and we met one randomly at a park while we was drinking for somebody's birthday. And it just kind of all fell together. So the writing of that, just to go back to it, was, man, it was kind of accidental and therapeutic, and it just kind of like, I just kind of kept ticking on it until it became a script. It wasn't the most dynamic plot or the most sophisticated with twists and all that. It was just, you know, a story that I had that I just wanted to see if I could make something happen with. And we started one day, and that day we finished it. And then we was like, okay, we're gonna show back up on this day. And we finished that day, and we was like, okay, we're gonna show back up on this day. And then 8 days later, we was done. And we had this raw material that was like, all right, how we gonna get this edited? Again, like going back to the beginning of Echoes, man, when I first wrote it, man, it was kind of just something like, I just want to see if I can write something. And then it became, well, I want to see if I can actually get actors. And then it became, well, I want to just see if we can actually shoot it, right? And once it got to that point, you know, I had already been talking to my friends about it. You know, I was talking to Trey, I was talking to Claude, I was talking to Christelle, and even though they didn't really understand exactly what I was trying to do, they were just like, look, man, we ain't doing shit else. Like, I'm with it, bro. Like, what you trying to do? And so, without that community, that, you know, friends that I had built over the time just working and just building a relationship, man, Echoes would have never happened, right? Because at the end of the day, once I decided I wanted to do it, I was gonna do it with or without them. But what made it better was they saw me trying to do something and they was like, yo, how can I help? Hey, I got this gear, you can get this gear, it ain't working. Hey, you know, you're gonna need somebody to deal with talent. I'm a producer, I can come in and help you, like, you know, help them with lines and stuff like that and help produce them. Okay, hey, you know, you need a director of photography. I'm not doing nothing, I can come and be a director of photography, you know what I mean? And so, we kind of just came together as a community, and what I started to explain to everybody once we started to get all the cast and we was kind of piecing together crews, you know, day by day, was just like, man, I don't need you to believe in me. I don't need you to believe in this film, but y'all all showed up here for a reason, and if each one of y'all believe in y'allself and y'all are part of this film, it's gonna do good. And so everybody, you know, stuck to that, and we all stuck to that. Like, if everybody do our part and help what we can, even if it's a 20 minutes or an hour here or there, we can make something happen. And man, they clung to it, man, and they stuck with me, and we stepped in and we made something happen. So I think that anybody that tell you that they made something happen by themselves, man, that shit a lie, but you ain't doing nothing by yourself. You might be the front runner of it, you might be the initiator of it, but you ain't doing that shit by yourself, man. We out here right now, it's 3 of us, you know? So you ain't doing nothing by yourself. It's always something that you're gonna need help with, whether it's a call, somebody make a call for you to get a location, or somebody, hey, my cousin an actor, I'm gonna get him over here. Or hey, you know, I got a camera, you can have this. Whether they physically helped or they just kind of gave you something that gave you a little bit of a push, that's help, you know what I mean? And so without community, man, you ain't making this happen. Echoes was the first film I directed, was the first film I wrote, was the first thing independently that I've ever done. Outside of, like, I did like a little non-talking, like, you know, 1 minute piece thing on some creepy shit, right? But I've never done a full film with lines, with blocking, with staging. I ain't never did none of that, man. And it was a scary thing going through it. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I done got all these people to believe in me, the project and themselves and shit. It was some days I wanted to be like, oh no, we're gonna do this shit, but we're gonna keep going. You remember the girl from Hustle and Flow? Put your hand on the steering wheel. Say, there, we in charge. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where we going, but this motherfucker's going somewhere. And if y'all stay on this ride, it's gonna pay off. And like, here we are, 2026, we shot that in 2024. Echoes are still paying off, you know what I'm saying? Man, we just got accepted into the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival, which is a Canadian screen award festival, which is like the Canadian Oscars, right? And so that was 2 years ago where we were just bored and we was like, hey man, we're gonna do something, you know what I mean? But without that community, we would not have been able to get to this point that we at right now. You know what I mean? So community is everything. Your friends are everything. The circle and the people that you keep around you are a reflection of you. And so if those people ain't willing to help you and vice versa, you ain't willing to help them when they give you a call, not necessarily for money, but just, hey man, show up for me. I just need you to come show and be in the background. Hey, I just need you to, hey man, I can't show up, but I got a cousin that can. If you don't have that community that helps and support what you're doing, man, you should probably rethink that circle and that community, but you also should kind of reevaluate yourself too.